Reasons why gun control doesn't actually matter. 4 reasons why electric vehicles are the best vehicles. 4 reasons why electric vehicles are the best vehicles. 4 reasons you're wrong about electric vehicles.
Okay.
Okay, so look. First topic is Boston Dynamics. Now, look at this video.
I forgot my tools again.
Terrible acting.
Mm-hmm.
Is this did he
That's-
decide to do those things?
It's
Or
a
they made
pre-programmed sequence of events, but it's processing all of it around it, like how to step, how to
Why does it
fall.
run like that?
It's a robot. Most robots can't even run. Nor throw a big bag of tools. Wait for the engine. Most humans can't do that. And that's not CG.
Honestly,
That's real.
Such a show off.
in 2023, I would expect that a robot would be better than that. That's pretty.
I mean, that's
It's pretty like.
half of the population in America at least can't do that. Throw a bag up there and then do a triple, quadruple, double flip like that.
Okay. No, I would not say. Yeah. I mean, half
Nor
of them-
lift something
There's-
heavy or run for a prolonged amount of time.
I can
or
do everything
jump.
that robot did except for the flip.
Did you see that? No, look. Wait, where is it? It's not walking up this. Look.
I can walk up that.
He
Definitely
jumped.
do that.
Jumped.
It wasn't that high.
Flynn slipped, threw it up.
Probably do that. Definitely jump off this and then.
Okay. No.
I could not do that.
Okay, right. Which is my point. Is
I'm just
a
saying.
robot already is doing something I can't do. Lots of other people cannot do that. Now, could you learn?
Millions of dollars into that stupid robot, and that's all it can do.
No, that's not what all of it that it can do. It's
I
about
just expect at this point in our lives,
They're
in technology, I think technology should be a lot further along for
You
the
could-
money that we put into it.
no. You could easily take 30, 100, 1,000 of those, put guns in their hands, raid an entire country. You shoot them. Oh no! What are you gonna hit?
No, because you don't know that robot has the
don't even
technology
need it. You need a
involved.
You need a gun there with an automated little.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to kill everybody in sight or kill everything, you don't even know that it can acquire a target and shoot specifically.
Speak no more. What's this? Inside the lab, Atlas.
This video should in many ways look familiar to those who've seen our videos in the past. But it's meant to communicate an expansion of the research that we're doing on Atlas. So we're not just thinking about how to make the robot move dynamically through its environment like we did in parkour and dance. Now we're starting to put Atlas to work and think about how the robot should be able to perceive and manipulate objects in its environment while maintaining that characteristic high level of performance that we expect from Atlas. In order to do that, the robot has to be able to think about the properties of objects, their shape, their mass properties.
Right. So when he picked up that bag, he identified this is how I'm
First of
going
all,
to
let's
manipulate.
address this. Robots should not be killing people.
No robot should be killing people.
No, robots.
Yes.
It should be 100% illegal
It's-
for a robot to kill anybody on U.S. soil.
I feel like it should be controlled or organized, but I don't feel like if the government can do it, so can I. If they can have tanks, so can I. If they can have $1 million robots that shoot people, I can have $1 million robots. That
Right,
can
but
shoot
I don't
people.
think the government should be able to do it either.
It's not about what you think or want. It's about I made this thing that just so happens to shoot people. I own this thing that just so happens to blow people up, and that may be in fact its intended purpose, but
It's a slippery slope.
it's no different than lots of things. I
That
mean,
that just
you're not-
well, you're right. I mean, you're not wrong to some extent. I mean, there are definitely principles I agree with. In that, you know, I want to have what the government has when anybody else has available to them. And I'm definitely pro guns and being able to protect yourself and using a robot to protect yourself.
Right.
But
the burden of
I guess then my solution would be to have weapons that a human can carry that can
disable a
that thing.
robot. Right. I mean, you take a shotgun to that thing's feet, it's not going to work so well.
No,
But then again, it's probably going to work a lot
Either
better
way.
than some bones.
either way. If we're just talking about the robot itself, like we aren't even anywhere close for that robot taking my job as a carpenter.
I
And that's
agree.
the setting that it's in,
Sure.
a construction setting.
But we're not far
So,
along from
you're
another
talking-
country.
You're talking
taking
about
the
$1
robot.
million gopher.
The point is,
I
you
mean,
can make that
Lincoln
thing
can do that job. Lincoln can do what that thing just did.
No, he cannot. He cannot
And I could pay him
work
probably $15 an hour. He'd be happy.
24/7, 365 with no
Right.
pay and no.
But all
no
that
keeping,
thing
no-
did was bring that dude some tools and then jump off of a scaffold in a flashy way. And didn't
Well-
even jump off the
Well,
scaffold.
what if
had
you
to
had
jump
it
onto
on
the
an
box and
assembly
then off
line
the
and
box.
its cameras were thermal or high whatever depth, and they were observing pieces of trash on at Rumpke or something, picking out trash? That replaces a bunch of people. Pieces of plastic inside the thing, or
I mean, that's not
many
wrong. You're not
manufacturing
wrong.
jobs.
I'm not saying that that's not. You're talking about possibilities. I'm talking about what that thing just did. I'm reacting to that thing right there and what it just did, and
It's
that's not very valuable.
I'm on
Now-
a job site, like you said, and I'm doing roofing. I have 4 of these things. I press deploy. They go out and feed me all the way up to the top of the roof a piece of plywood, and I could be sitting at home. Or
You said feed me.
okay, I could be sitting at home controlling it, feeding the people, like a controller at home. A
Not
remote.
4 of them at the same time. Do one at a time.
You can make them think hive mind, like work together. Have you ever seen that?
Listen,
the drone
I don't think that there. I believe that there are lots of possibilities. That is not that impressive to me for probably what I believe that thing's worth millions of dollars. Or
I don't
has
think it'll be
millions of dollars put into
I think,
getting this far.
the
But
retail.
somebody has to do it. I mean,
Spot costs the yellow dog from Boston Dynamics costs like $200,000, I think. Which, depending on the application, say if you're out like how they have it, surveying and being able to turn a manual switch on something, if there's a gas leak or something. The value of celebrities' opinions. Limited is what I say. Not very
yeah,
useful. What do they know about my life?
I think I just think that so many people put so much value in the opinions of celebrities who are so far disconnected from the lives of the people that value their opinion or watch them or who have made them celebrities.
But in part, that's what makes them a celebrity is being this
I
like
mean, they
textbook
were normal
definition.
people until they were a celebrity.
And
They
they're
were
still-
just you and I. They were. I mean, how many celebrities have you heard about who were broke? Steve Harvey, who was broke and became. They're obviously they're celebrities that I agree with, but I just think there's too much value placed on the opinion of famous people.
I'd say green energy or politics, as in like carbon footprint. If you say anything about that, shut up, T Swift. Okay, you just drove or flew an hour there, hour back in your private jet and spent
Mhm.
40
Oh
grand.
yeah, I think that
Or
the hypocrisy of
or
celebrities.
you just filled up your Lamborghini Urus, whatever, and that costs $400 in California, and it gets, I don't know,
Yeah,
12 miles.
It don't cost $400 to fill up a Yaris or whatever it is.
That's
Fuel cost cannot be that much.
$6 a gallon, and it
It's
gets
about $400 to fill it
That's it.
up. I doubt the gas tank's very big on it.
okay.
Right,
What are
$10
my
gas tank.
well, Urus is like the SUV, but my point
Well,
is,
yeah,
you're
no
saying
30-gallon tank. I'll tell you that.
you're driving a luxury vehicle that consumes a lot of gas.
Sure, there's definitely like.
That's a weak conscious thing.
I mean, if celebrities cared about their carbon footprint, they would give the majority of their wealth away. Instead of buying these multi-million-dollar mansions, they would level those huge houses and build huge apartment complexes and let people live there for free, right? But
Well,
I'm not one to tell a
I
celebrity
don't-
what to do with their money. I don't care if a billionaire decides to buy 100 private jets. It just don't lecture me about driving my 2010 F-150, right? Don't
Okay, yeah, I'd agree.
just do what you do. Like, okay, you're a celebrity for some reason. Somebody paid you a lot of money to do a thing. Okay, so that's just I have never bought something or changed my opinion based on a celebrity, and I see so many people like,
Come on now.
all right, who, what?
Okay. Think about okay, Nike with the football deal or whatnot. Okay, Nike did well. That's not a celebrity. Well,
Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I don't buy Nikes because they support Colin Kaepernick, but
See?
but I didn't
You're-
buy
are you-
the thing
they're talking
or
about
change my opinion because of that.
they're talking about directly
just-
because of
I'm saying, like,
celebrity is telling you not
A
to do
celebrity's like, you should get rid of your truck and buy a Prius, or a celebrity who says, about abortion rights, or literally anything that they talk about, unless that celebrity is not that they don't have their opinion isn't valuable. Everybody's opinion is valuable. There's something to learn from everybody's opinion, whether you think it's foolishness or not. What I'm saying is there's too much value placed on their opinion alone.
Okay, I can switch it.
That's my.
You could
opinion.
say Greta Thunberg. Some
I don't care what she says.
right. She's not. She just scooped into this ideology about.
I'm just
Especially
saying,
with her.
in our society, I think that too many people, especially younger people, put a lot of value on, celebrities' opinions.
Well, you can say
It's,
that's why
What's that? What's
People
that
are-
YouTuber, that dumb YouTuber that likes to box?
Logan Paul,
Logan Paul, the Pauls.
Jake Paul.
I mean, shut up, dude. Like, I don't even want to hear you talk about anything.
He's from
about,
Ohio,
he's an idiot.
No, they're actually very smart, and for this reason, they're very
I mean,
smart in
they-
the realm of business acumen. And
I
getting
can't say
people's-
that they're
attention.
not smart somehow. I mean, they made all that money on YouTube
right.
in the same amount of time when I could have done the same thing on YouTube. And I didn't think
could
of
say-
it. They did.
They're good at being dumb, which makes them smart.
Oh,
Controlling
Whatever.
the narrative about themselves.
whatever, and I'm fine with that.
On-
If people
on
want to,
public
I've never watched
forum.
Logan Paul, whatever that other Paul's name is,
Jake and Logan Paul.
Jake and Logan. I've never watched a single YouTube video of theirs. If it came on, I would literally just switch it and be like, no, I'm not watching that.
No, I
ignorance.
think it's funny.
Now, I did watch,
I watched the Impulsive podcast.
which one of them boxed. Watched one of the boxing. That was somewhat entertaining. It was actually a regret afterward because it was like, I mean, he could have killed him, and he didn't. He let Logan Paul. I mean, there was one time when I'm pretty sure he knocked him out, and he was like laying on him and holding him up, and it was entertaining. But that's all the value that Logan Paul has to me. That one little bit of entertainment, and that his YouTube channel is not entertaining to me. But then he's trying to lecture people on, their lifestyle, and it's like, wait a minute, bro. Like, You make all this money, you spend it on ignorant things. You know, and I say it's ignorant because to me it's ignorant. I don't know, you know, but it's his money. He can spend it however he wants. Just don't
Right.
lecture me on what to do with my money.
I'd agree. To each that. The value of truth. You could say.
Do you value truth?
Just talking about
Is-
your question,
Yes, a question to you. Do you value truth? How much value do you place on truth?
I value the factual proof, the factual and the logically consistent truth. So
I value truth.
sure,
100% truth. There is 100% truth. And I feel like in today's day and age, we are getting further and further
the only way
away from being able to actually find truth. We live in the age of disinformation, misinformation.
truth is based on facts.
The truth. There is the
You
truth.
can't just. That's a circular statement.
It's not a
or-
singular statement.
Truth is truth because it is truth. Full. No, you have to say truth.
Right. It's discovering the truth. It's how do you discover the actual truth anymore, right? You have two completely
The truth
opposite
is-
opinions on things.
The truth can only emerge when there's something trying to oppose the status quo, meaning there has to be a fact behind that truth. And the way that you identify that something is truthful is that it has facts to base it up against the other outlying opinion. So you could say, it is a truth that circular wheels are better than square wheels. How do we know? Because I can factually prove to you that per rotation, you're using less energy to propel the vehicle. Or
That comes down to an argument of basis or
that comes to an
value.
argument of it takes
Somebody could say
Says electric motor.
square wheels are better than round wheels because they're easier to manufacture. It's easier to make a square than it is a circle.
that's not the
I'm
argument
pretty
here
sure.
that you're conflating that. It's easier. I
I'm
know
talking about actual truth.
factually that round wheel is better
So-
because it takes less energy to move. it.
Here, for example, Alec Baldwin. Do you remember? Do you know what happened with Alec
He
Baldwin?
accidentally shot the lady.
Okay, right.
and the
So
other person.
that accidental, that's opinion, right? But here's the truth is, right? So he said, I never pulled the trigger. Now, there's a truth, right? He either did or did not pull the trigger, right?
On that statement, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So the truth exists. The truth is he pulled the trigger,
Mhm.
right? He's saying he didn't. Other people are saying he did. We don't even. I don't think there's any video of him pulling the trigger. I don't know.
There's video. They were filming.
I don't think they were filming.
Yes,
it.
they were filming.
I don't know.
It's
I've
just
never
not-
seen the
it's
video, heard the video, looked at the video, but I don't know. I know that
obviously
he's
not
been
going to distribute it.
right, but my point is not even to argue any of that. It's just that there is truth in that, right? So there is truth about what's going on with our economy and sending money to Ukraine, hitting the debt ceiling, and then borrowing money and sending it straight to Ukraine. There's truth in what is actually happening, and then there's opinion on what that means.
The definition of truth as a noun is the quality or state of being true, and
So it's
it goes.
circular, huh?
It's not done. That which is true or in accordance with fact or reality.
In accordance with fact or reality, and that's true. It's just like
Truth
Calling-
is sitting on fact.
calling a man who chops off his dangling and calls himself a woman, and then goes into women's restroom. I mean, there's that teacher who dresses like a woman, was at the gym watching women, and he calls himself a woman, and he's not. What I'm saying is that truth is not valued like it should be. Like, a lot of people think it's okay to tell a little white lie. And there was a time in my life when I thought to protect people or to protect myself, telling a lie is okay in some circumstances. Now I believe there is no time, no place for lies. It is truth. We speak truth and we deal with truth. And because we are quickly losing that there used to be guilt, liar, liar, pants on fire, there used to be guilt in our society about
There
telling a
Still
lie.
is. I mean,
Very little.
no.
very
I would not
little
agree
to
with
none.
that statement.
Little
I
to
would say
none.
that no. The
The majority of people if you asked them, is it okay to tell a lie sometimes? Would they say yes or no?
They would definitely say sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
The majority
because-
of people, is it for you? Is it okay to tell a lie sometimes?
Absolutely.
Wrong.
And here's why.
I 100% disagree.
Because there are instances.
Give me
I can,
one.
I can show you. Watch this. Let me explain. There are instances where the level of harm or confusion or damage is higher if you don't tell the lie.
Give me an actual
there is
harm
a-
or damage.
Okay, you could say,
And don't tell me something that protects somebody's feelings because that's not damage.
if I lie about that there are 100 people in the room when there's only one person in the room, there's one person in this room and there's 100 people in this room. I could lie and say there's no people in this room, but there's one here. What I'm getting to is I could lie and then that other person would have to pull the lever and kill everybody, right? This is like the railroad incident. And I could say I'm lying and saying that nobody's in the 100-person room to say that there's only one person, but I'm still committing a death. But either way I say, someone's dying. In this instance, it's in either way. But I'm causing less damage by lying and saying there's nobody in this 100-person room, so they kill one person. Or I can say there's nobody in this one-person room with one person, and it kills 100 people. So this instance of the lie did what amount of damage? See,
What? No.
you told a lie.
So
that directly.
listen. You've set up this fictional situation, right? So there's a person. There's one person in a train, and there's 100 person in a train, and there's a person who has to now switch a lever that chooses to either kill one person in a train, or the 100 people in a train. Okay, and you're saying I'm just going to lie to the person pulling the switch and tell them there's 0 people in one train and more people in the other train. The outcome does not change, right?
Okay.
So I would tell the person there's 1 in this and there's 100 in this. Choose who you kill.
Or take no action.
Or take no action, they all die.
Why are they on that train in the first place?
Shut up. You made this fictional thing up. What I'm
My-
trying to say is there's value in the truth. Even in your hypothetical,
Okay, so that does go
the
back to
truth
it.
still remains the same.
Okay, you should.
If this person
you should
has
just
to
say-
choose, here's what you have to choose.
You should present to them
As
the truth.
a matter of
There's a
fact,
person in each train.
matter of fact, I would say you've done them a disservice to lie to them. And
Okay.
this is actually what you have to choose. This or that. Choose.
Okay.
And then then come to find, okay, so you lied to them. There was 0 in this, 100 in this. They choose the 0. They find out they took somebody else's life. And now they're like, oh my God, I killed somebody.
My point is, I did like your point about when you're lying, it is mainly to protect, preserve, or otherwise manipulate the way someone will interpret something to augment their emotions or self-view of themselves.
I mean,
That's what lying is.
I
It's
guess
verbal.
the only time that I would say lying is okay is when you're using it as a tactic for self-defense, right? So if somebody kicked in the door, trying to rob my house, and I was caught off guard without my firearm on me, and they're like, is anybody else in this house? And I'm like, no, it's just me, just to try to distract them,
See, that's my point. Is it goes right back to the one person versus 100 people.
No.
No,
You're
there's nobody else
talking
in the
about an
house.
immoral person, right? I'm using it as a tactic in order to preserve the life of my family,
Okay.
as opposed to yes, I am lying to this person. Actually, I probably wouldn't say anything. I'd run to my gun or get to the closest firearm that we have
Or you could
available.
say
So
Yes,
I
there
probably
are.
wouldn't answer your question. Let's be honest about tactics, but I'm saying that they're
there are other people in this house and they will shoot you. Go ahead.
right. Even better. I didn't even think of that. Right. So there
Please.
are people in this house. And we all have guns, and
Please
You're
look
about to
around.
die.
Please find out.
so I'm just saying, I value truth, and I think that most people don't value the truth. As a matter of fact, when truth goes up against what somebody wants to believe, they won't believe it. That's I guess that's the truth. I'm
Something
talking
in
about.
psychology I learned about is people can be presented with the factual truth of something and still deny it because it goes against their previous notion or their idea about it beforehand when they learn this is much stronger than this new idea. Even though if it is 100 completely factual, they'll still find the truth or their idea about this fact that is wrong more valuable, and they'll still choose to believe that because it feels better to them. Which a lot of people do with many hot topic issues such as abortion and other politics, that they don't want to be confronted of this truth, so they'll just err on the side of, well, this is my truth, this is your truth, and my truth makes me feel better about this space. So therefore, California robot killer. So
See, I feel like this takes us right back to the Boston Dynamics thing. That
well,
we
it
were
kind of
talking
does,
about.
but basically, what was it, November or whenever they passed the bill?
Right.
They-
So they passed a bill saying that they could use robots to kill people, and then they scaled it back,
Right. So
which is the absolute right thing to do because
just let me
should
read the
be-
article first so that we can get. San Francisco reverses plan to allow police robots to kill suspects. The city's supervisors reversed the controversial policy following outcry from citizens and advocacy groups. They've sent the issue back to a committee for further review. That was December 7th of 2022. And there's a picture here that says, the police allowed the San Francisco Police Department to arm bomb disposal robots similar to the one seen here with this explosive to incapacitate and even kill suspects. So
do I think that
arm bomb. So it's an arm disposal thing. That's
listen? Do I
Warding
want to
away the
see
person
any cops killed in the line of duty? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Do I think that there are bad people out there that need killing? Yes. If there's a
but
guy,
you shouldn't be the one to judge to take someone else's life unless they chose themselves to try and take a life.
bro, they chose when they decided to shoot at a cop.
Precisely, they chose
They
that.
chose that.
Right.
You
Well,
chose
I'm
that.
making the decision.
As a matter of fact, some people
I'm
choose
going
that
back-
literally. Suicide by cop.
I'm going back to death row. Logically consistent.
Right, but
Oh,
is
really
is there a situation where I think that
There's things much worse than death.
do I think that there is a situation where a human manned robot sent in to take the life of somebody so that you can preserve the life of the officers? Yes.
That's no different.
Do I think that a robot should be doing the decision making? Absolutely not. 100% never.
No.
Never.
I'm perfectly fine having two
If you
killer
wanna
robot
put-
dogs sat on my porch, and if you decide the kids are playing outside and some estranged person, it identifies through AI or whatever that they're doing that, I might get a notification on my watch and say, yep, kill them. And they're dead. Well, they were fucking around and they found out. Don't do that on my property. Don't be on my property.
It's a slippery slope. That
I don't think it's a
robots
slippery
kill it.
slope.
Right? But then you're deciding. Then you are deciding, right?
Right.
You are deciding.
You're always.
So
I always feel like if you're gonna have robots that can kill people, which already exists, by the way, that we probably don't even know about.
no, I'm sure. Well, I mean, yeah.
Officially.
Even still, drones. They use drones to kill people.
In Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, Iran, Iraq, one of them. I don't know. There's a video on YouTube. They put a literal like AK-47 on this big gas-powered drone, just playing
No
around.
problem with that.
Oh yeah, you could do that. I mean, yeah. My point is, it should always be a person pressing the
Choosing.
execute,
Right.
the confirm.
But there,
Allow button.
even with that, I think that's dangerous because
Okay.
when you're in a moment choosing to pull the trigger yourself is a lot, and because we have to value human life, whether it's a criminal or not, we have to value the moment we let go of the value of a human life, no matter what life it is. Not that I'm saying that nobody can be killed, because I absolutely think that some people must be killed because of their actions in that moment. But it's just like the police officers or even us with self-defense, the moment that the threat is over, you must stop pulling the trigger. You must, because, and then you must try to save the person you just shot, because you respect that life, right?
Okay.
So it's so much easier to look at a TV screen and just start killing a bunch of people, because you're not there seeing them get shot and killed, and
Okay.
you know. So
I err on the side of what Elon does with Twitter is he's not really about permanent banning. He's about like a suspension. So I'm not going to
how you can tie this in.
I'm not going to permanently ban your life from living by killing you. I'm going to temporarily disable you or put you in the hospital for your actions because you were acting dangerously or negligently. So I might, if that requires chopping your legs off, and now you're.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. If that's what it takes to disable you in that moment.
Cops are not trained to kill people. Cops are trained to stop the threat, right? They are trained to take lethal shots because that is what stops the threat. Every bullet that you shoot that does not incapacitate the individual, the more bullets they can shoot back at you, right? So
Okay.
endangering cops' lives, and then, other people's lives, citizens' lives, so that they are trained to take lethal shots. But once the threat has stopped, they don't. It's like that guy down in Texas in that taqueria. It would be very hard, point blank, pointing a gun at somebody's head to shoot them if you didn't have.
I mean, I don't think it's. I do think there's a fine line here. It's either humans.
I think there's
or,
a blurred line. That's the problem.
No, there's a fine line. Either the humans are deciding A, execute, like press control on a button, A, execute.
I don't have a problem with that.
Or B, the other side of this is
But
sensory robots that
see
see people, heat vision, out in the field, go execute.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
too far.
Yep.
Although that's completely entirely possible today. Current technology.
Probably.
Absolutely possible. You can
Probably.
even have that done with drugs.
Hmm?
Thermal vision, sees it, flies up, bam. Flies you, blows you up in the head.
Watch the video. Bring it up. Texas taqueria shooting. Just click on the video, bro.
Listen.
Police in Houston are getting ready to talk to a man who shot and killed a robber at a restaurant. Surveillance video showing the one customer dining in one of the booths. The robber came in pointing what turned out to be a plastic BB gun, and he was taking money from different patrons, just going table to table. So one of the customers, you can see it here, if you look really closely, pulls out his gun and shoots the suspect several times. Stephanie Haynes joining us live now. I guess the police had been searching for this guy.
I need the whole. You need the whole video. Get out of here. Not this news report.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, the man who shot and killed a would-be robber at a taqueria shop has turned himself in to police, but has not been arrested. With that said, we just had to revisit last week's shocking video of the deadly shooting. Now, the surveillance video will now be presented to a Harris County grand jury. The entire thing is too graphic to show here, but we can tell you about the robber's final moments. He has now been identified as 30-year-old Eric Eugene Washington. While attempting to rob the restaurant, a customer took out his gun and shot Washington 9 times. Multiple bullets to the back, including a bullet to the head. The customer who shot him, once again, has not been arrested or charged at this point, but police have made contact with his attorney, who said his client acted to protect everyone in the restaurant, and his client also at this point wants to remain anonymous. We want to know were those nine shots necessary, or at least the last bullet to the head. But when I saw that 9th shot, that bullet to the head.
Right. So what we have is the man's laying face down on the ground, and the armed citizen appears to take the gun away and then shoot him again in the back of the head. Right now,
Okay.
I don't know if that bullet landed. I don't know if it.
Right there, that is passing the line for me because you've eliminated the threat.
That's what I said to you.
No, I needed clarification on that. If you've eliminated their ability to threaten you, you've removed their
You
weapon.
stop the threat. That's what I'm saying. You stop the threat. So, in my opinion, okay, obviously this guy has no problem shooting and then killing somebody.
But also in that moment, with the adrenaline and the
I get that. And maybe
But then again,
maybe
man-
there's a good argument towards, somebody who is, they often talk about cops, that have gone too far, too many shots, too many this, too many that. It's a lot easier if you're controlling a robot, to stop shooting. Like, okay, he's down, he's dead,
In that moment, you just it gets very blurry on that because I think the clear thing is
the only thing that's going to save this guy is if the first 4 shots killed that guy and he was laying there dead anyway. The only thing they can get him for is the abuse of a corpse by shooting him in the head.
or
What
if-
shot was lethal? If the guy could have survived the 4 to the back, which he was laying there pretty lifeless, so I don't know that he. But the 4 to the back, and because some people were like, "Oh, he was on his way out." I don't know that he was, because right there he's walking this way. He's still got that gun up. If he was leaving, he'd have that gun down and running.
But also, I thought you couldn't shoot people. It had to be face on.
No.
That's in
No.
your house.
No, that is never true.
If they're turning to flee,
no. Because somebody that guy could literally turn that gun around and start shooting at you, and you do not have to wait till somebody's shooting at you. That guy never pulled the trigger, right? Because he's got a BB gun. Obviously, he ain't gonna pull the trigger. You have to reasonably think your life or believe that your life is in danger, and that is reasonable for him to believe that everybody in there was his life was in danger. And that guy could have went around there and started pointing that gun at everybody on the other side of you don't know what he was going to do. So and in that moment, those first 4 shots were fine. It was the last couple shots that were bad. But anyway,
but then again,
our
played a
whole
stupid
point was
game
the
and
California
a very stupid-
robot, right? The California robot.
right?
And I just think that a robot killing humans is dangerous, slippery slope.
Tesla price cuts.
I don't know much about it. I know that they.
So
I think that's. I know. Read the thing into.
right.
I guess talk about it, but
I'm getting into the part where Sandy Monroe, the expert, kind of in breaking things down. But anyways, Tesla did these price cuts kind of at the beginning of the year here. What did they do? It was like a lot of money. It was like in some cases like 12 grand off on the Model X Plaid. And the confliction was some of it was
the people that just bought theirs for the inflated price now
do
their
they
car's
get
worth a lot less, right?
the depreciation or the market change on that. The other part was, why did Tesla do that? Did Tesla do that to increase their
Well, we got to look
demand?
at we got to look. No, because they're sold out. Teslas are sold out.
Correct, but people, analysts or people who talk out of their anus, took the position that Tesla did that to increase demand. Now, as a byproduct of that decision, did it increase the demand? Sure, it might increase demand for this lower thing. and
I'm
you get a
not
tax
sure
credit.
that.
But the primary reason they did that was it was actually
What did Elon say? Why did Elon say they did it?
he doesn't answer that. I mean,
He doesn't answer that.
this is just what we're doing.
I mean, Tesla has no formal reasoning behind this. They didn't come out and say, "Hey, They just decided to.
They might have in the earnings call, but I don't recall. But
I'm just saying that if the reason it was inflated was because of higher prices because of supply chain issues and everything else, that's why they increased. If those things went away and they decreased it, that makes them a more upstanding company than any other company, because you don't see any other car or manufacturer, anybody bringing down their prices at all.
right.
So
And-
in that aspect, I think that Tesla is yet again a leader in doing what is right.
My point is, I like what Sam Monroe said, is Tesla's so good at vertically integrating, kind of like Ford was in the vertically integrating, that what they're doing is, he called it, so I'll just read the memo here from Inside EVs. In one of the latest videos, Monroe Live, Sandy Monroe and Corey Steuben, like the people there at Monroe Associates, shared some interesting thoughts. And it says, as we know, the price reduction across the board was so significant that some media even started to call it a price war or profits as weapon. as weapons. We guess that the cause of the price cuts is highly related to supply and demand, as Tesla needs to secure enough orders to continuously expand its manufacturing capacity around the world. So that they obviously didn't listen to Sam Monroe. Let's focus on manufacturing and cost, which gives us the foundation why Tesla was able to reduce prices quite significantly and whether it was expected to remain profitable. According to Sandy Monroe and Associates analysis, based on multiple electric vehicle teardowns, Tesla achieved the lowest estimated costs in the EV industry. Sandy Monroe said that the first conservative estimation indicates over a 30% gross margin on a vehicle like Tesla Model 3 or the Tesla Model Y. In the case for the 2022 Tesla Model Y, the raw difference between the price, $58,990, is estimated cost is roughly $39,000 and was almost $20,000 or 33% of the cost. You add that, basically what it shows is Tesla has so much margin on their vehicles that his example was the Honda or Kia, their electric vehicle, which cost a few $1,000s more than the Tesla Model Y, which is a significantly better vehicle in
The
comparison.
Tesla Model Y.
Yeah, I mean, just charging network
Sure.
technology.
So, and again, so all those things lead me to believe that Tesla, is doing what is right for its customers and not worrying about everybody else. Because, the most coveted electric vehicle is a Tesla. There are some that are starting to push, but nobody's at the ability of Tesla. Nobody, the charging infrastructure and everything. So they have every reason to keep their price high, but they brought it down. Now, was there a slump in orders? I don't know. Were they catching up?
No,
I don't know.
There was not, because Tesla's earning report a few days ago came out. It was a live stream, and they had their highest sales in that quarter ever before. Okay.
Leave it to Americans to complain about somebody selling their product cheaper. Just stop. Okay, I get the people that just bought it, like just bought a Tesla, or within the last
And
2 or
I'm
3
pretty sure
years.
there's a 30-day thing anyways. You can go ahead and say, hey, look. I don't know if there is or not, but
I'm just saying, if I'd have bought one in the last year and I could have waited a year, but look at how many people are willing to pay for the Ford Bronco Raptor, $125,000 when MSRP is $80,000 because they want it sooner than later. Okay, so granted, do you ever think that you're going to buy a vehicle and then the manufacturer is going to sell it for $10,000 less than you just paid for it? No. Okay, so I do have some sympathy there, but at the same time, if Tesla reduced its prices because, what if they had a sale on Teslas? There are people that buy F-150s, the number one selling truck, at full value, and then at the end of the year they clearance out the ones that are left for that model year. So do those people get to complain? And sometimes that's $10,000 off. I've seen that. Papa Rick got one like that. So it's like you don't get to complain because you got yours before everybody else. You got to jump the line, right? Now everybody that was patient and waited got theirs cheaper.
And it's not like if the retail cost was $10,000 less, everybody else's vehicle is not also like the people that bought it here and the people that bought it here in the year. The whole price just came down.
Right. So, but at the same time, I do. I think that the way Tesla doesn't have dealerships. Ford could sell their vehicles at a drastically reduced cost if they didn't have dealerships. Dealerships are the ones marking them up, put market adjustments on them. They look for every way to squeeze every little dime out of you at a dealership, at the stealership. So I do think, Tesla is rocking the boat in the automotive industry, right? But again, when it comes to the EVs, I think that it should either succeed on its own or die on its own. The government should not be putting any money into it. The government should not have bailed out GM. The government should not have bailed out Daimler Chrysler. And the government should not be giving any type of
I don't think they should give
money towards or tax break for buying an EV. It just shouldn't happen.
or credits or
Right.
infrastructure for the charging networks or
I don't think so.
and,
I think that if this technology is to succeed, it should succeed on its own.
and like the fair market economy.
You know, people started buying, gas powered cars instead of, but like Ford, Henry Ford said, if I would have asked the people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. And what he did was build, he wasn't the first one to invent cars, not invent cars, but he mass produced vehicles, right? And he had a vision. I'm going to sell them cheaper than everybody else, right? I'm going to mass produce them. I'm going to, and he could have went completely broke with a bunch of cars sitting in there if people still wanted horses, but people saw the value in it. Okay, and there were no gas stations.
I mean, there's a similar thing with Elon is I'm going to create something that's not supposed to exist, electric vehicles. And then I'm going to reinvent an entire system to power the vehicles and kind of what he's doing is disrupting and taking power from these very large entities. He's disrupting the vehicle industry, disrupting the
and
gas, oil kind of non-renewables space.
Those companies do not like the change in the market like that because they have the market cornered on the things that they want to corner the market on, right? So, but now you see, it is amazing what Tesla has done to alter people's thinking on electric vehicles, and now you have every major manufacturer making at least one EV.
And not only are they making, not Toyota's like out of the minds. But anyways, I don't know. Anyways, Tesla's so good at this, been so successful in disrupting, is that you have other auto manufacturers trying to play catch up towards Tesla because they thought they could still continue to push this narrative that gas is going to be the supreme end all be all forever. And just like horses, just like carriages, just like gas, just like electric, in the future, it gets phased out as something new and
Well, I think what's
better
best for
comes
the
out.
American public or for people in general is a mix of it all. I think monopolies are a bad idea. An oil monopoly, every car running on gasoline, it's worked for now, but look at how fast they can manipulate those prices. And, so
And that's the point with
if you have a different option, an EV, if you have a different option than an EV, a petrol vehicle, if you have a different option, all these options are better for us and keeps us from being pigeonholed, because once we're pigeonholed into everybody has an EV, then the electric companies set the prices.
right. And my caveat to that is if you can have solar panels and batteries on your house and you create your own energy, you can't have
So then the solar panel people have the power.
but you have the person who Elon, Solar City, he owns that. Their batteries they make themselves.
I don't think
their vehicles they make themselves.
I don't think Elon having all the power.
I don't think any one person should have that much
Right,
power.
but that's why I like the
an
social medias
individual-
that we have. Not that I like that how they're being ran, but it's a breath of fresh air. Elon owning Twitter now because the social media platforms become so left leaning that there's evidence. I mean, he's showing all the evidence, the
Twitter
truth,
files.
the truth evidence of what has happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I value truth.
We were talking about Tesla price cuts, but
I know, but all this keeps coming back in. Can socialism work? Answer the question, yes or no.
absolutely not.
Really?
Although it
Because
it's currently working here in America pretty well.
it's not working at all.
We
have no
we're
socialism.
pretty much very socialist. We live in a
Okay,
very
explain socialism then. Define socialism.
with all these benefits that you can just get by doing nothing and taking the taxpayers'
And you
dollars
think
to
that's
do-
working?
It's functioning here in America. I didn't say it was working well
said-
or that it was.
You said it's working pretty well. Do you want to rewind the thing? And
Yes,
look
it
at
is working pretty well in quotations.
No, it's
comma,
not
and
working.
slash
It is
asterisk.
what is driving our inflation.
Right. Let me
The
restate my
government
assistance.
dumping money into a
It's
system.
working pretty well. Okay.
For who? For who?
Right. That's
For the people
that's
sitting
what
on
I'm
their
saying.
ass getting free money.
Right. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
it. Not for the working man, not for our economy, not for anything
The question
else.
was, can socialism work?
Can socialism, in its truest form, socialism as defined as
No.
we all
Socialism
do a
cannot
job
work.
and we all make the same money. Everybody does different jobs, but we all make the same money.
Right.
Socialism cannot work.
That's
There,
and we have aspects of socialism here in
don't-
America that have crept in,
Right.
and are causing things to.
right. See, I put that down there because I thought you'd have a different opinion. You and Elon think that someday what do you call it? A guaranteed income or
Uh-huh. And
a basic income or something?
that's
That
still gonna
basic
become a
income,
reality because
that basic income, no matter what the amount or value is, $1 million, $100,000, $100, it becomes zero because when everybody has it, it is of no value.
I'd agree.
No value.
It will have very little value.
So you
I'm not gonna say
cannot
no
give
value.
everybody a basic. You can.
I'd agree. You cannot. But
Okay, so handing people money won't work.
But the
Okay,
metrics are different in the future that I'm referring
there are
to. Where
there are
this
plenty
works.
of jobs for people. Okay, there will always be jobs for people. Okay, somebody has to build a thing. Okay,
Sure.
somebody has to build the next technology. Somebody has to build the
And my
robots.
point is,
Certainly.
Will there always be jobs? Yes. Will there always be high-paying jobs? No, there will
maybe
not.
maybe not. Maybe not.
And that's why I refer to this income because we're headed to a place of extreme surplus. Just surplus.
But
of
those
goods.
surpluses are a bubble, right? They bust. You know, when you have a lot, you know, if
No.
anything I learned from COVID was there's a bubble that can bust. You know, you could never have convinced me that the United States would run out of toilet paper.
Sure.
For months, we ran out of toilet paper.
My
That's
point
crazy.
is that if you have a society where everything is so very abundant and there's no real I'm referring to a society where I'm going to say over half of our functions as humans in labor, house building, agriculture, sewage, any of physical labor is pretty much or very close to fully autonomized. Think like Star Wars with all the little robots flying in air, putting stuff together. That can happen. And with that happening, you have people who just like, what do I do? Because if you take up half of the America's jobs to do that are physical, what are those people going to do?
They'll find something to
Especially-
do. Entertainers.
Sure.
I mean, that's just it.
But my point is, you can only have so many TikTokers, YouTube. I mean, maybe
Oh,
not,
can you?
but
Can you? Because you know,
you have quite a bit, but
right.
you
So
can oversaturate a space.
I'm not saying I don't know what they're going to do, but people will. There will always be a thing that needs done, and we cannot, in my lifetime, your lifetime, 100 lifetimes, make things that do all the jobs.
The only thing you cannot replace is the human conscience.
I mean,
It's ability to be
manufacturing has basically been. I mean, what the first jobs I could see going are manufacturing, and we already shipped half those or the majority of those over to China. Okay, so with the amount of people we have doing manufacturing jobs here, somebody has to watch the robots, make sure they're doing it right. Somebody's got to fix the
Sure.
robots. Robots break.
But if you have 100 robots, you need 10 people,
Right,
and those 100 robots,
right. But look
We're
at how far.
100 people.
Right. Look at.
That's
We have more
90%
people now.
reduction in labor.
We have more people now and less manufacturing jobs, right? Those people found things to do. Marketing, social media. I mean, there wasn't time back in the day when you had to wake up, feed all your animals, make sure all your food was grown, and then go do a job, come home, and then prepare for winter and can all your food. They didn't have time for social media back then. They didn't have time for stuff like that then because they were constantly busy. People back in the day, before all this technology came around, were more busy doing things to stay alive, right? And now, so there will always be a thing that people need to do and somebody willing to pay to do it. I just don't know what that looks like.
I agree, but that's
That's why I'm saying socialism will never be necessary and will never work. And it will never work.
I'd agree, but
But
On
you're
the
saying,
point
but
of-
there needs to be a
there
basic.
doesn't need to be. But I see that in the future, I'm aware that this is a possibility that can happen. There is a universe. There is a pathway that could easily evolve.
I think what could evolve into is very poor people and very rich people.
Oh, kind of like now.
I don't think that in America. I mean, the middle class is pretty healthy.
There's a map. There's where
It's not
it's
a
like
huge gap, but it's getting bigger.
it.
The gap's
This
getting bigger.
1% owns half of it, and then the other half of the money is owned by everybody else.
Mhm.
So it's just like.
Yeah, the top 10%.
And
Sure. That's a big gap.
But if you go into American
Mm-hmm.
economics, if you're in America, you're already 1% on Earth, globally. To be 1% in America of that 1%, you have to be 100K.
Okay.
Point is, you with that the
What are you trying to say?
The
Eat
amount
the
of money-
rich? Like I don't believe in that.
Mm,
Well, like for the podcast.
no, it's not. I'm not
Uh,
saying eat the rich. I'm saying that's why we're going to. If you have this many people with this amount of income, then the government could set a price. Okay, an orange is $1, and you have $10,000 units credits.
So the government
that
should
month.
not be setting the price of anything
Well, that's
ever.
what's going to probably happen in a lot of places.
Unfortunately, it might happen, but in every place that it has happened like that, Venezuela, every place that's happened like that, the government has collapsed, and the dollar is worth nothing. Their currency is worth nothing.
Okay. Crowder versus Daily Wire.
Explain it.
Um,
Crowder's wrong.
in my opinion,
No, my opinion is Crowder's wrong.
yeah, that's what I think too.
Really?
Well, yeah. You didn't originally say that though. You didn't originally think Crowder was right on this. You thought Daily Wire was trying to screw him out of a bunch of money, and you were just kind of making him his.
When did I ever say that?
Last week?
When
When it initially came out.
When it initially came out,
Yes.
I did not say Crowder or anybody was wrong. I didn't know the whole details. I said the way that Crowder initially presented it. Sure, it sounded like somebody was in the wrong. But what he said is not entirely accurate. He conveniently left out things. Even when he did the rebuttal with the recording, he cut that off at certain times to make him sound better. And now I believe the only reason he did any of this is because he wants to create his own Daily Wire.
He wants to sever and.
He wants to create his own and bring and get people all excited about his platform to raise up creators on. And what I say to him is, you have the money. Go and do your thing, bro. Why do you have to blow out somebody else's candle to make your candle shine brighter? You don't have to do that.
And I don't think his approach in the way that he did it was the accurate or
No,
the best
absolutely
way to do
not.
that.
And he's burned bridges. And I just think, I can see the heart of the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Jeremy Boring, all those people. I don't always fully agree with them, but I see their heart is to peel off the mask of, left-leaning stuff, just like Dave Rubin, who is not part of the Daily Wire, has his own thing, has locals. Do you know who Dave Rubin is?
not the black guy.
He's not, no.
No, I don't know.
He's a white gay guy who is conservative, who actually, if you listen to him, you never even know he's gay, except he talks about his husband and his 2 adopted children. And he didn't have to tear down other people to get where he's at. Now, he was a liberal, and there's a lot of that, California conservatives coming out that, I think they're leaning a little harder towards conservatism now.
California conservatives are really just moderates. Choosing a side.
Typically. But at the same time, I mean, even Dave Rubin, for being a gay guy, which I don't fault him if that's where he wants to be and what he does, that's fine. But he believes in freedom. He believes in your right to choose to be gay or not to be gay.
To do what you want.
Right. So I don't have a problem even with him adopting kids, him and his husband adopting kids. I know some people would have a problem with that, but I don't have a problem with that as long as he cares for those kids, as long as he takes care of those kids, as long as he doesn't mistreat those kids. But you can have straight couples who get kids, adopt kids, and then, prostitute them out or molest them, or so it doesn't matter. Anybody can do that. So if I believe anybody with
One bad apple doesn't
right. So
spoil the whole orchard.
all I'm saying is with that is that, just because I don't believe in everything that somebody else believes, Dave Rubin, I mean, Ben Shapiro is a Jew. He does not believe in Jesus Christ.
To some in certain capacities.
He does not believe Jesus Christ died on the cross for your sins and can save you for,
I can't speak for Ben Shapiro.
He has said as much. I don't have to speak for him. He spoke for himself. I don't believe. I think he's got it wrong on Jesus. But I agree with him on a lot of
Jesus
things.
was a rebel.
Exactly. And
got
Jesus
what he
wasn't a rebel.
deserved.
He was a savior, in my opinion.
Sure. Yes.
That's what I believe.
Okay. Yes.
But there are things that I do. I fully disagreed with him on the vaccination. Still does. And now he's coming around to believe what I believe. There is something going on with the vaccinations.
Is it Ben?
Ben.
Oh,
He's like, if he just said, if I knew then what I know now, I never would have taken it.
I never.
So, I don't have to agree 100%. And that's the problem. Like, Steven Crowder is like, this is wrong. They want 50 and the way he
There's
presented
nothing
it.
wrong with getting $50 million or $12.5 million every year. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
Right. But if he didn't want to, and again, he kept saying, my separation with the Blaze is, just business. This is just business, bro. That contract was written for you, and it wasn't even a contract yet. It was just in negotiations for a contract, right?
Term sheet.
Right. So, and all he had to do was say, no, I don't want this. I don't like this. Instead, you try to tear down one of the largest. As a matter of fact, you look like the one trying to stop the conservative movement, tearing down the Daily Wire. If they actually did something wrong, if it was like Jeremy Boring was selling children on the market,
And the fact that he recorded it,
right?
he knew preemptively how he's going to spin this, how he's going to play this.
Sure. So, if they were doing something truly wrong and disgusting, then that's fine. And that's what I expected to hear, but I did not hear that. I heard $50 million, and now he's like, oh, it ain't about the money for me. Sure it is. Yes, it is, bro. It is about the money for you. Listen, it's business, man. If you lose, everybody stops watching the Steven Crowder show, they're not going to continue to pay you $50 million.
Yep.
Okay? It's just like anybody else. If you don't keep up the ratings, if you don't keep bringing in money, what's their benefit, right? If you're not drawing people, when you're pushing people to the Mug Club, they're pushing people to Daily Wire. And the only reason to bring you on is to bring more people towards the Daily Wire so that you can both benefit.
He's kind of like people who live off the welfare. Don't go to work.
I don't think that about Steven Crowder. I don't know what he's dealing with, man, in his life, and
I'm just making.
I think that there are a lot of good things that he's done, but at the same time, I think that it's ridiculous to tear down the Daily Wire like he did and act like he did about it. So that's my opinion.
One is Forbes billionaire list.
What about it?
With not billionaire list, but
That ain't our last one.
no, I just already selected it. It said number 1.
Oh.
Mr. Beast makes it to the cover of Forbes 30 Under 30 special issue. So this is basically where Forbes put out a thing for the first edition this year, a list of the top 100 creators in multiple different kind of fields and whatnot. There was a lot of backlash of like, why the 1 through 3 rating or why the rank. I mean, Jimmy definitely belongs at the top, Mr. Beast, especially with billions of views and hundreds of millions of views per video and 100 million plus subscribers on his YouTube channel. And think about Mr. Beast.
He's a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire.
You said Forbes billionaire.
I misspoke. I said on Forbes 30 under 30 list.
What does that mean?
I don't exactly know this. Mr. Beast was offered a buyout for his channel for $1 billion, and he would be employed for the channel through whoever would buy it. But let me go to the Forbes, oh, yes. All right, so here's Forbes. Mr. Beast is the new number one with record earnings, and Jake Paul ranks second despite past scandals. Here's how much these celebs raked in. With a name like Mr. Beast, perhaps it's only inevitable that he'd grow to be as big as he's become. The 23-year-old earned $54 million in 2021. And I think that's largely inaccurate. I think he actually did way more than that.
That's more than the Daily Wire offered Steven Crowder for 5 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the thing is,
but
he has an English channel, a French channel, Espanol channel, everything, and he has them voiced over.
I from what I understand, he gives away a lot of money, and that's cool and all. And he's found a way to make a lot of money. And I probably would like him more than I like the Pauls, but because I think the Pauls are jackwagons, fish canoes. But they're all got more money than me. They all figured it out better than me. If that's what you value in life is money, they figured it out.
Alex Hormozy said it this way: the way people got rich in the past was the oil. The new oil of today is people's attention.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's wrong. I mean,
that's a really good point. Is
the fact that you can become a millionaire or wealthy, millionaire or not, wealthy off of TikTok, Instagram,
if
Facebook.
you can find a way to generate and keep people's attention,
yes,
you're generating money.
Yes, entertainment is.
If you can find a way,
but I would still say the majority of millionaires are created through real estate.
I don't know, but there's definitely a large amount of individuals who have come up in wealth or economic wealth through social media.
I mean, look at all these girls doing OnlyFans, making all that money that they claim they make. I mean,
no, they don't claim it. They got money.
I don't know if they're making millions or not.
There's like a top one. There's a severe disparity here. It's either you're making really, really a lot, or hardly any.
I don't know, and again, I believe in the freedom for people to do things like that. I wouldn't do that. Obviously I've not, there's a lot of ways to make money. Okay. What I'm shocked at is how many people support it, whether it's OnlyFans, YouTube. I'm shocked at how much money these things can create. But yeah, I mean, but you look at, people are straying away from TV and, like the normal TV of sitting down and watching TV. Now we have streaming and things like that. I remember when Netflix came out and everybody was like, that's ridiculous. Nobody will ever use that.
This is the funny part. Mr. Beast, like a video that he posts, can get more videos in that more views on that video than a network can get on a channel the entire year.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm
sure.
What? That's crazy, but people just don't understand
But one day YouTube will not be a thing.
Sure, I'd agree.
I mean, and the next thing will come up.
Right.
Just like TikTok wasn't a thing, and now it is.
Do I think it's going to be not
when
a
people
thing
have become very wealthy?
Soon? Or the next 20,
probably
30?
not. Probably not.
40,
but I
50
think
years?
that I could see YouTube not paying as much as they do.
I
mean, they could pay him half as much, and he wouldn't.
He'd get paid nothing and get paid lots of money because a significant portion of his money, hundreds or millions and millions of dollars, is given to him for this promotion because he can, with his following, with that many people. Think about all those devices. As soon as you press post and all of the notification bells that get sent out as soon as you post something, instant drive traffic. All you have to have is a 1% conversion rate to sell this item, and you just made
Does he promote
most of your
items?
money back. Plus an app or Cash App. He did one with Cash App, or he did one with whoever, certain honey or sponsors where lots of money.
He's doing that with that TikToker, Keith. Have you seen Keith on TikTok?
Keith.
The guy in Las Vegas that he goes and gets food at a struggling restaurant.
Oh, Keith. Yeah.
He's doing a
I really like him.
shit,
That's good.
right? But I mean, they found a way to entertain people, and people watch it. So many people watch it.
The other part that I find is interesting is Jake Paul, number 2, due to his
People watch
boxing. It was not due to. I mean, in some part, he didn't post
Even
that
still,
much on YouTube, but he's using
he
his
has found a
following.
way to entertain people. He's entertaining to some people. He's not entertaining to me.
The funniest part is, you can hear that these people have mega success, but also have never heard or watched them. Like Mark Pryor, I've watched maybe a few of his videos.
I don't even know who that is. I don't even.
Rhett and Link. Now I watch their stuff consistently.
I watched a few of their things.
They've found a way through.
That's good mythical morning, right?
Yes, through a decade plus of generating content, being able to adapt throughout all of these years. And
They're entertainers. They're good at entertaining.
Unspeakable. This is like a kids channel. Well,
don't know
kind of
that.
used to. It was Minecrafty. Nastia. She's a kids channel. Or Ryan's toy review or whatever. Kids partnering with Target and Walmart and
That's
other
crazy.
stuff selling.
Crazy. I should have done that with one of you kids.
Yeah.
We'd be millionaires.
You could. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dude, perfect. I like some of their stuff, man. That's pretty cool.
Perfect. Yep. Number 9, Logan Paul.
Can't stand him. He's that far from his brother Jake.
Just money wise this year.
Jake is 45 million and he's 18 million.
Logan Paul was
Step up
originally
the
on
game,
Vine and became very famous there, and he transferred. You see a lot of Viners who couldn't make the transition to YouTube because Vine died, and then you see some of these
Vine
YouTubers.
didn't die. They killed it. Twitter
you
killed
see-
it.
you s-
Elon, bring back Vine.
He's
I
just-
hate TikTok. Actually, I love
Oh.
TikTok, but bring back Vine so we can stop using the
And then
China
some-
TikTok.
Some Viners got over to YouTube, and some YouTubers haven't or won't or are unable to make the transition to TikTok.
Oh,
So
there's
they're not-
TikTokers trying to make the transition to YouTube, and it
Right.
just ain't work.
It's a rest
I've seen there are people I follow on TikTok that I've never seen their YouTube channel. I probably never will.
But yeah. Anyways, that's that topic.
I don't even know why we discussed that. All I know is that I know that you can make a lot of money on YouTube.
Paul Pelosi react video.
All right, I want to see your reaction to this video. First of all, who is Paul Pelosi,
He's Nancy Pelosi's husband.
and who's Nancy Pelosi?
The past,
Former. Okay.
previous
Former.
previous Speaker of the House of the
Yes.
United States of
Right.
America. I call her
So
lizard lips. I don't like it.
yeah, I don't like her either. I can't. Anyway. But there's some controversy on what the guy was doing. This guy was doing at their house anyway, and a lot of people think that Paul Pelosi is, having a sexual rampage with him. But then it turned into something else. But they just released this video, and I just want to see your reaction.
Nancy Pelosi reacts to
I just
newly
wanna see
released
the
video.
Don't play
That's
CBS thing.
I don't have
go to
the
YouTube.
video. Okay,
YouTube.
we're gonna go to the YouTube then. I may disturb some viewers. Okay, here we go.
Definitely don't want all of you. I definitely don't want all of you. Hello. Yes.
To redact the address.
Yeah, Lily said that. Hi. How you doing? What's going on, man?
It's good.
Hi. Drop the hammer.
Nope.
Hey. What is going on?
I'm
Here?
not getting an answer. I'm probably.
Get up, man.
Crack is out. Pelosi got popped.
Ever for Everson, backup code 3.
Oh.
Get so. What is wrong with reporting out?
Snoring. Oh no.
Ever for Everson,
Oh no.
Affirmative.
don't mean to laugh at you, man. I just wanted to see your reaction. But no, there's some speculation on what that guy was actually doing there, why Paul Pelosi's in his underwear, what they were actually doing. I don't know. I don't really know why that needed to be released. Or
I
whatever, but
definitely feel like there was some kind of foul
entanglement.
play.
Well, I don't know. That guy's obviously off his rocker, and Paul Pelosi's been involved in a hit and run and a DUI incident, and I mean, there's a lot going on there. But originally, it was said that guy was a family friend, and da 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 da. But I watched a video when he was snoring. I was next couch. I don't want to laugh at Paul Pelosi. I don't think anybody. It's not funny that anybody got hit by a hammer.
Hurt, his
But-
brain smashed in it a little bit.
I do think he recovered for that. I'm pretty sure that he did.
I mean, it was in October.
Yeah.
October, November, December.
I'm just
January.
saying. I'm pretty sure he.
But suspect.
Yeah.
But anyways, that concludes our first podcast.